I get to introduce our next speaker. We have a keynoter from NetApp who's going to be talking about the data center evolution, hyperscale versus enterprise architectures. Before I announce his name, I'll let you know that this is a gentleman from Romania, a part of Romania that many people know as Transylvania. He is the cloud czar at NetApp. He's responsible for overall technology vision as well as strategy for the company's cloud data fabric portfolio. And he's gone so far as to establish the Storage Networking Industry Association, or SNIA's Cloud Storage Initiative. So I would like to welcome now, from Transylvania, Val Bercovici.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Jim, for that lovely little introduction, and I'm glad you chose to go with the Transylvanian theme, primarily because I hope everyone is live tweeting this, if you're on Twitter. My Twitter handle is down below on the bottom of this slide, and I hope I actually have the clicker here. And it's pronounced Valbu, appropriately scary for a Transylvanian-born gentleman like myself, but it's actually Val B00, if you want to find my handle. So imagine you're blind, and you just got a really important prescription, but it's not in Braille, and you can't read it. Or maybe something more fun. It's Christmas time. You just got a really cool toy from Amazon. Lots of complicated electronics, and again, the instructions are not in Braille. You can't read them. Up until a few decades ago, there was nothing you could do. And then a gentleman by the name of Ray Kurzweil came out with a device with this form factor, but in the mid-'80s, way before the iPhone was announced and launched. And this device actually read an OCR text, and it audio verbally read out the text to you. So it literally changed the lives of millions upon millions of people with that particular disability. And the reason I bring Ray up, he's actually a very well-known futurist in the community, is that he helped co-found the Singularity movement and helped produce the research behind this fundamentally important chart that drives a lot of our inspiration in NetApp R&D. This chart traces the progress of technology evolution dating back to the Industrial Revolution through present day and then projecting forward. And the mathematicians in you, all the left brains in this audience, of which I presume there's many, will instantly notice this is not a linear chart. And it's not a logarithmic chart, of course, it's the opposite. It's an exponential chart. Technology progresses exponentially. It's actually counterintuitive to what we think in terms of linear progression of technology. Why is that so important? Well, let's think about a couple of relentless rules of exponential math if we just project forward, not a long time, but 7 years, which in our industry from an enterprise or just a customer perspective is merely 2 purchase cycles. In 2 purchase cycles, a handheld device, which is a reference form factor for this chart, will not only have more intelligence than insects or rodents in terms of synaptic capacity of the brain, but in 7 years, it'll have the same brain power as a fully human brain. 2 purchase cycles away. That's somewhat profound. Now, projecting forward again, doing more exponential math, in 2042 now, Ray pulled this prediction in from 2048 at a recent Davos conference he spoke at. In 2042, if you're reading this chart properly, this thing that we can hold in the palm of our hands will have more synaptic capacity, more brain power, raw brain power, than all the brains on the planet put together. Wow, yeah, that's profound. And that inspires it. That's what we think about. And if you've got kids or relatives or friends or neighbors that are in useless arts degrees like philosophy today, they're going to be the most valued degrees in a decade or two, because the definition, the fundamental question of what is a soul, will need to be answered when something in our hands is way more intelligent, has more brain power than us. So how does this apply to technology and storage? Well, quite simply, we are witnessing an increased pace of evolution in the technology we use every day. And I love to present this chart to conservative enterprise IT folks. It talks about this trend, SMAC talk, social, mobile, analytics, and cloud, that was a customer-derived term that analysts such as Gartner and others now use quite widely. And I present this adoption rate in the enterprise of these various technologies. And I get a lot of heads nodding. They say, yeah, a lot of people have mobile phones, and yeah, there's a bit of big data, there's a bit of analytics, there's a bit of cloud, and some social in the enterprise. And then I tell people this is a 3-year-old chart. This is 100% adoption across the board right now. And it's fundamentally changing how we design applications, how we architect applications, which of course has direct ramifications on the data models we use. They're very different than just flat file systems or relational databases of the past. And we're going to take a look at exactly how dramatically different these new enterprise architectures are so that we can explain the contrast between enterprise architectures and hyperscaler architectures, how Flash plays into the mix today, and how some current and next generation technologies announced at this show will also factor in. Come Christmas time, Mother's Day, we've all been here. We're on the Amazon site. We're looking to fill up our cart with stuff and get it delivered to the people we care about. This one application, so to speak, this one page, is actually about 30 different microservices, 30 independent application modules implemented and maintained by different teams. And of those 30 microservices, the majority, about 2/3, are stateless, but about 1/3, 10 of those modules, microservices, are stateful, meaning they actually store, manage, protect data. So let's take a look at that breakdown. Most of the rich media here, the videos, pictures, any audio that might be on this page is stored on object storage solutions. A popular open source one might be Ceph. In terms of actually fast responsiveness for the cart as we're building it, an in-memory database like Redis is wildly popular here to maintain session state with very fast response times, like in-memory key value store. I like to joke perhaps the most boring part of all of this application is a traditional relational database that many of us know and love, and that stores really boring things like financial transactions and the money information. Getting back to exciting new things, one of the most exciting new kinds of data models, databases, is a graph database. And a graph database actually takes records from individuals and objects and entities, and it's the relationship between traditional records that is the first-class object in a graph database. Extremely memory-intensive database, and current flash technology and future storage class memory plays a significant role in the adoption of this. Every time you see customers also bought on the bottom of a page, every time LinkedIn makes a referral request or Facebook does, every time Netflix suggests another video for you to watch, it's a graph database doing the work underneath the covers. Now you're at the airport. You're building one of these carts on that crappy airport Wi-Fi on your laptop or your phone. And it dies just as you're about to board the plane, and you've built up this 18-item cart that you want shipped the next day. You're pretty upset. You're not happy about this. Well, a well-coded application will actually back up or use a comparable key value store to Redis, and React, which is more of a storage-based, persistence-based key value store, as opposed to the in-memory key value store. That's very common in this environment. Those of you that remember Lotus Notes, simple document database. It's very awkward to keep converting objects to relational records in an application, and no one has to wrestle with that anymore because MongoDB has become, over the last 3 years, one of the most wildly successful databases in the world, exceeding most popular database brands today, precisely because it's widely accessible and it's drop-dead simple. Very, very simple to develop an application. It's forms-based. So this entire form is laid out in a MongoDB database. And then finally, you're wondering, where's the big data stuff? Isn't that hot and new? That's actually old hat for new applications nowadays. The analytics is there, but it's not as exciting as all the activity in the NoSQL world, the new SQL world, two distinct things, and of course the in-memory world. So the key message is you can no longer have one data model that you optimize an infrastructure or storage subsystem for. It's a very polyglot development world. It's a very polyglot database world, very polyglot data model world. So from above, we've got new workloads. We've got these SMAC workloads, and clearly they have direct implications on architectures, particularly at the storage level. But what might be unintended or unexpected is the dramatic effect it's having on a supply chain itself. So here we have an interesting chart. It's an XY chart. I love these things because they're simple. Note, though, that the y-axis is pretty normal. It grows with cost. But the x-axis is a bit inverted. It grows with latency or response time, meaning things get slower as the x-axis grows. So we have two endpoints that are not common in a storage discussion: DRAM and tape. And the reason for that will be clear fairly soon. In the middle of that, we have the good old middle-of-the-road disk drive that many of us at the conference here kind of would wish, would die pretty soon. And it won't. Tape is still around. But this drive, has spawned and still supports a very, very large, multi-billion-dollar industry, a very mature industry. And it always delivered middle-of-the-road performance and middle-of-the-road capacity compromises. But it was somewhere in the middle of this chart. The good news is it's going away. The bad news is what replaces it isn't a familiar in-place replacement. And the reason why are economics. It's not just technology trends, it's what's affordable, what's produced and consumed in volume. So let me start with a figure here of $3.5 billion with a B. $3.5 billion is actually related to a company we use every single day. It's been in the headlines quite significantly this week. Many of you use it this morning to get here. Of course, we're talking about Alphabet, Google. And some of you get that joke, at least that's good. And Google spends $3.5 billion a year on their infrastructure. But they're growing so fast that this figure does not include their data center real estate costs, power and cooling costs, or even their staff, which is pretty low inside the data centers themselves. They're highly automated. This is just Google's CapEx for compute tier, memory tier, network tier, and storage tier. And the shocker is that $3.5 billion, which is a substantial amount in and of itself, is a quarterly figure. So yes, Google alone spends $14 billion and growing on CapEx infrastructure. When you add in Alibaba, you add in Amazon, Microsoft, most of the major web-based players here at scale, we're looking at about $50 billion in web-scale infrastructure as an annual CapEx today, growing at whatever estimate you want to believe, whether it's IDC or others, at 20 to 30% a year. Massive growth off a giant number. Pretty soon that adds up. Pretty soon that's real money. And what's happening is that it's dramatically impacted the storage industry. It's polarizing the storage industry. On the spinning rust side, the hard disk side, the demand for web-scale applications is dramatically different than enterprise OLTP. In the enterprise, it's that 66% read, 33% average ratio for transactional systems. Look at not the network or not the solid-state flash side. The hard disk side of web applications is 99% writes and 1% reads, and that's actually a rounded down figure. The 1%, I should say, is rounded up. It's even lower than that because it's nothing but appends. Continuous log appends in the web scale. Every pixel coordinate of your cursor on your laptop screen is recorded as a log entry. Every extrapolation of where your eyeball is looking at your mobile phone or tablet through the selfie camera, and yes, you gave most of those apps permissions to do that when you clicked OK to download from the App Store. Every one of those extrapolated pixel coordinates on that mobile screen or tablet is also logged as a log entry. A massive amount of writes for later analytics. And that's all disk and capacity based today. And of course, where do the reads come from? Almost exclusively solid state right now. And that market is continuing to adapt and grow, as we've seen just this week, quite dramatically. Flash is really maturing, entering its stride. 3D Flash is finally starting to become a bit more competitive in terms of multiple players entering the market and so forth. And we're seeing a lot more talk, particularly as a courtesy of the Intel Micron 3D Crosspoint announcement a couple weeks ago, a lot more talk about there is something else, what comes next. So at NetApp, we have a broad portfolio that puts all this in context and makes sure that we're not talking about just one particular trend that could be a flash in the pan or one-trick pony solutions. You really need a portfolio solution for this, and here's why. You need to be able to continuously innovate with your supply chain. And Bob Brennan, who represented Samsung earlier this week, made some really cool announcements, joint announcements along with NetApp, with regards to taking existing technology and demonstrating innovation and demonstrating experience and maturity in the technology. So there's a figure in NAND flash, it's very, very disturbing for those that know. It's the over-provisioning figure for almost all SSDs and flash devices. In the early days, when the flash translation layer algorithm was very, very immature and young, many drives had 50% over-provisioning. That means we lose half the capacity we pay for as users. And that's a figure that typically tends to be very well hidden from end users, but ultimately anyone who does their research comes up with that and understands that. Today, best in class is about 28%, less than 30%. What we've done is we've co-developed a standard within the standards community, the ANSI T10, so Insights T10, along with Samsung, for something called multi-stream writes. And that's acknowledging the reality that we're not just doing trim commands for one application or one thread anymore. We live in a virtualized, hyper-threaded world, multi-tenant, lots of parallel activity going on to our flash devices. So we need to be able to deal with much more intelligent trimming, if you will, than just single-threaded applications. And so multi-stream writes are enabling us to deal with a lot of incoming writes, dramatically reduce write amplification in that scenario with hypervisors and containers in play, and take that 28% figure down to a projected 7% over provisioning. A dramatic capacity improvement in usable capacity that customers really care about before we add fancy compression and dedupe technology to the mix. So big, big material difference, ultimately a multi-billion-dollar savings for customers in this industry. And we're not stopping, of course. With this crosspoint announcement, 3D crosspoint announcement from Intel and Micron, we're now acknowledging that there's going to be a very important new tier in the solid-state hierarchy alone, apart from the drives themselves. And this is fascinating to me. I tend to really focus and gravitate on the latency chart here, because I've realized in hindsight, my 17-plus years in storage has been dominated by latency math. Everything latency math does determines what my career has done in legacy storage. And one example historically is when I joined NetApp, it was almost on a dare. It was called Network Appliance back then. And one of the hiring managers said, we can run Oracle databases over shared 10 megabit. I'm going to repeat that. Shared 10 megabit, not even switched, not even 100 megabit or gigabit, God forbid. Shared 10 megabit networks faster than SCSI. And I laughed and said, no way, it's impossible, but I got nothing to lose. I got another job offer with Sun, so I'll just try this job for a while and see what happens. And sure enough, the size of the pipe didn't matter. The speed of the pipe didn't matter. Those long mechanical latencies of the heads going across platters and waiting for platters to spin were in multiple tens of milliseconds. So the speed of the Ethernet connection, the speed of the SCSI connection was irrelevant in those days. The latency is what made an industry of network-attached storage. Fast forward today, and we're into much more stringent. We keep incrementing again exponentially by not a single order of magnitude, or double, 3 orders of magnitude now. So we've gone from the microsecond latency of spinning disk drives to, the millisecond latency of spinning disk drives to the microsecond latency of flash media, NAND flash media. And how many or how few microseconds, typically measured today in the hundreds, of latency you have in your system really determines a lot of your performance value, a lot of your pennies per IOP, basically, as opposed to dollars per capacity for flash, and the opposite for disks, of course, pennies for capacity and dollars for performance. So milliseconds and microseconds really mattered, but now we're onto the really punishing, unrelenting era of nanoseconds. And nanoseconds really matter. They dramatically impact how we architect. There's a cool link here, pmm.io, is a website I encourage you to visit, where we talk about how we can, as an industry collectively, NetApp, Intel, Oracle help put this together, how we crawl, walk, and run through these relentless, punishing latency targets now that we've set ourselves up for, the nanosecond latencies. And there's 3 basic approaches that the industry is going to take. Backwards compatibility dominates all early adopters and early adoption. So simple, raw block device and file system device access to this new media is going to be very, very important. But that's just basically the fastest block device ever. That doesn't really unleash the power of the media itself. So the storage class persistent memories are also going to have their own persistent memory file system, where you'll be able to do some really intelligent things with regards to directly accessing the media, not just over an asynchronous PCI bus, but also a synchronous memory controller, and treating this as extended RAM. And of course, the ultimate mode, when you go from crawl to walk, ultimately to run, is the ability to go ahead and access this media directly as byte addressable memory, as opposed to block storage. And that's going to unleash some amazing killer apps, because you're going to have on your laptop tens of terabytes of addressable memory. We might not call it DRAM, but it performs and behaves more or less like memory. And on the data center side, in your racks and your server blades, you're going to have, not long before you'll see petabyte memories appear using this technology. So within NetApp research, we've determined that in order to extract maximum value here, and latency for nanoseconds being as punishing as it is, we can no longer deploy the same controller architectures, where you might put consistency control, a recovery point control, quality of service control. You might try and simplify the implementation of that by capturing it all at the physical layer, or capturing it all at the hypervisor, or even at the OS kernel layer. Unfortunately, a hypervisor switch between VMs, or even within a physical operating system instance, the context switch between user and kernel modes itself takes several nanoseconds to tens of nanoseconds. And if you're introducing a nanosecond latency media, you can't tolerate all that overhead. So we actually have to go now as an industry and open up the code to our file systems, open up the code to our databases. Easy to do in the open source world, because we don't have to ask permission. It requires a bit of elegance and negotiation on the commercial side. But open up the source code to those actual storage systems, if you will, the databases and file systems, and insert control points, insert virtual storage controllers inside the source code, so that we can have user mode I/O, bypassing a kernel context switch, bypassing any hypervisor context switch, directly accessing the media. These are projects at NetApp we've led with SAP. Oracle ships something that is the default recommended I/O engine within Oracle 12c today, called DNFS. And that's essentially, regardless of the fact it happens to be NFS over Ethernet, it's user mode I/O. The Oracle instance bypasses a Linux kernel, bypasses a Unix or Windows kernel, and does I/O directly, which is why it's so fast. That's the mode of I/O of the future. What does it mean from a data center stack perspective? I like to talk about the 1 microsecond border. A very, very important border here. So anything below the border is slower than 1 microsecond. And right now, a lot of the leading minds in the Ethernet standards world are talking about 400 gigabit networks and terabit networks, but they're not really addressing the latency factor, some of the latency limits, which will never get, within the foreseeable future, below 1 microsecond for Ethernet latency. That's still a very, very lucrative and rich world. All of today's modern NAND flash arrays, flash storage systems, have higher than 1 microsecond latency. So it's very comfortable to put them across a network hop, if you will, SAN or NAS, InfiniBand, etc. But as we get into the storage class memories, NetApp research has determined that we have to implement these user mode file system and database changes. And ultimately, we're talking about memory controllers with fixed as opposed to asynchronous latency in this world above the 1 microsecond border. So there's a lot of storage control and intelligence that has to go into the host right now. It can no longer be shared over an Ethernet network. And a lot of memory extension, memory controller extension technologies also live up there. Data persistence, caching semantics are all there. One of my favorite project names that we have within NetApp research is something called fuzzy snapshots. And fuzzy snapshots, aptly named, are how you coordinate a very complex scale-out environment with multiple nodes in the same file system or database instance, all writing to the same data stores, the same records, how you coordinate control points, for recovery, for quality of service across multiple nodes in a single system. So let's have a quick education on what this means for cloud and true hyperscale deployments. I'm going to perform a magic trick here. I'm going to explain cloud in 2 slides. There are at least as many opinions on cloud as people in this room, probably as people in the IT industry, but for me, cloud is first and foremost business. It's a dramatic business enabler. This is a chart from Bessemer Ventures that actually shows the valuation, public valuation created exclusively as a result of cloud technologies. Many familiar brands here, Box, Dropbox, Netflix, Salesforce, NetSuite, Workday are all here. Their estimate, very conservative in terms of publicly shared companies, is from the conception of cloud about 7-8 years ago to today, $176 billion of business valuation was created because of the cloud. So regardless of all the bits and bytes and security and latency and other performance discussions we might have about cloud, let's not forget that almost $200 billion of public funds, public valuation has been created. And this is not counting crazy valuations like Uber today at $50 billion, because they're not public yet, Airbnb, and so forth. So massive amount of value. And of course, as with any service, any utility, there's a cost. So there's a ton of myth busting here that has to happen, because everyone thinks that cloud has to be cheaper, and cloud is insecure, and cloud is slow, because we can't predict the WAN latencies and so forth. We'll talk a bit about that, but most importantly, the 451, another research firm here, has published a really useful index, public index here called the Cloud Price Index, where they show that yes, there's a price war amongst a very select set of services amongst the major cloud providers, but by and large, real price declines have been tiny for the popular, highly used services. And a few lost leaders are actually declining at a massive rate and getting a lot of headlines. Why is that important? We look at how enterprises spend their technology. This is a very useful Gartner chart, summarizing where innovation happens in 14% of spend, where growth of existing services happens in about 20% of spend, and keeping the lights on is that good old IT 66% legacy budget. We map this now to some life cycles. If you are an executive working for a sales leader or a marketing leader or a customer service or engineering leader in your organization, and you've been tasked with creating something truly new and innovative, transforming your business, in the US today, where cloud is so widely available and competitive, public cloud, it is professional malpractice to not start with a hyperscale cloud, whether it's Amazon, Azure. Google renamed themselves probably to Alpha just so they can be an A-based company, because you've got Alibaba and Ali in there as well, so you've got to start with an A. The 20% can happen anywhere, either in the cloud or on premises or another service provider. And of course, legacy IT tends to ultimately be cheaper and more controlled on premises. And if we look at application development cycles, a key indicator here, whether you're in an agile environment and this loop is extremely tight, highly fine-grained and continuous, or whether it's a waterfall model where you've got big chunky milestones in between, what you're seeing is that as we go through the life cycle, customers are choosing to move their data around. This is a very illustrative report recently published by IDC. There's a public link available on the NetApp page for it. But it shows that the majority of users in the cloud today that actually have a cloud bill are moving data around and moving data off the cloud for some of the reasons highlighted here. Cost. Cost isn't as cheap as people thought it was when you actually have production deployments. Quality of service, and some of the other concerns customers have as well. So how do we map this to hyperscale architectures? Well, back in the life cycle, the economics of elasticity is where hyperscale public clouds have the most value. But as you go through your fast fail process, the cost of failure is very low in the cloud, the price of success is very, very high. So as you scale and deploy production workloads, you look for alternatives, either arbitrage between the public clouds themselves or focus service providers that focus on your industry vertical, your global geographical region for data domesticity laws, your actual quality of service and performance and availability for other key applications. As you focus, you end up moving data around. You need a very rich data fabric to manage and move data around these clouds. And we're going to wrap with a quick summary of how enterprises and hyperscalers differ in their architectures. This is more of a legend slide you can use for reference later on. The two colors to focus on are orange and blue. So we've got infrastructure over in light blue. You've got the actual blue in terms of storage-based systems in hyperscale environments today, and the actual orange in terms of memory-based systems in hyperscale environments today. And the bias today is still storage-centric. The vast majority of scale-out systems have disk in them, not necessarily flash. And hyperscalers, of course, have built an entire reputation and an economy of scale based on scale-out architectures of disk-based systems. And as people move those workloads, there isn't necessarily a complete workload compatibility between hyperscaler and enterprise systems, but as people move, the tier 2 MSPs, the ones that are running OpenStack and so forth today that are more regionally or vertically focused, they have to support that blend of hyperscale, scale out, as well as traditional scale up architectures. The converged infrastructures in Iraq or some of the traditional legacy Unix systems are still very popular today with these hosters. What's changed, of course, going forward is the emphasis. Now we're looking at memory persistence as the primary architecture bias going forward. And the one fundamental change is that the killer app for storage class or persistent memory isn't going to be some really cool imaginative thing that you can do with the Microsoft HoloLens or the Facebook's Oculus Rift and so forth. The killer app for these hyperscale environments initially will be virtual memory, page files, or memory mapped I/O for applications. The ability to just have really cheap memory at massive scale is going to create a reemergence of scale-up architecture biases at the expense of scale-out. When any individual node can be that much bigger and that much stronger than a traditional node of the past, you'll need fewer nodes and less scale-out because you'll have terabytes and ultimately petabytes of addressable RAM or memory at your disposal. So that's the contrast I wanted to highlight here. Let's not forget one final example, the IBM Watson experiment with Jeopardy, the game show, that we all might remember. That was pretty impressive, a computer system beating 2 humans at real-time natural language nuance processing and guessing what a question is to an answer. That was 5 years ago. Exponential progress, nothing but a 20 terabyte in-memory Hadoop system back then. Very exotic technology back then, very expensive technology back then. No one even, bats an eye at that today. You can rent that for a couple of dollars today if you needed to, versus CapExing it for $1 million. And it's 5 years old. The world has moved on. So with that, thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to chatting with you at the NetApp booth.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Yep.